Well, hello everybody and welcome to another edition of As the Crow Flies Hiking. Today I got a little something different that I wanted to do. This is actually a part 2 of this. J-Ben Hikes and I were out, I don't know, a month ago or so, something like that. And J-Ben brought this story called The Sleeping Giant. And we made a video of it at a campsite here in the Talladega National Forest, because it is about the Talladega National Forest. It is about Princess Talladega, Chief Chakalaka, and Kusa. I realized on that video it looked really great. J-Ben did a really good job, but the audio, because we had a creek behind us, didn't work out. So we're gonna have to try it again. And here it is. This is an Appalachian history story. I'll put down where I found it online, but it is called The Sleeping Giant, and it is an Indian legend from Alabama. And here's how the story goes. Many years before the white man penetrated the forest of Alabama, there dwelt a happy, thrifty tribe of Indians in central portion of present-day county of Talladega. The chief of the tribe was the great Chakalaka, a man with vast possessions. He had only one daughter, the Princess Talladega, whom he treasured above all he possessed. Talladega, as every princess should be, was the most beautiful maiden of all the realm. Chief Chakalaka, realizing that he could not continuously keep Talladega within the walls of his selfish heart and domain, began to cast about for a suitable mate for his treasured daughter. Now, in those days, as well as in these, one had only to think a thing, and the world anticipated the unspoken thought and ran away with it. It so happened that great chiefs, mighty and rich, old and young, from far and near, began to make offers of handsome gifts to the stern old Chakalaka for the hand of his daughter, Princess Talladega. So some found favor in the sight of Chakalaka, but Talladega said to her father, "Nay, give me time. The right companion will come along someday, who loves the things that I love, and we can be happy wandering through life together." So time passed on until one dawn day in April, sort of like today. I mean, we're here in an April day. Talladega wandered down a winding path to the sparkling spring at the foot of a hill. And we're actually on a place like that here in Talladega. The world seemed lovely in spite of the scheming of her father. Suddenly, she heard a song in the distance. It was beautiful. The song grew nearer and more beautiful until the singer burst into view as Talladega dipped her earthen pot into the water. She met the dark eyes of a coming young warrior, and at that moment she knew that in some way their future would be linked together. Thus began the spring of that year, an affair which clandestinely grew beyond the imagination of Chakalaka. Each morning a song was answered, a friendship ripened, and a love was strengthened. The wooing progressed until one day Talladega, approaching her cabin, heard voices. Her name was mentioned. To her dismay, she realized that Chia Ha, Chief Chia Ha, an ugly old chief from an adjoining province, was bargaining with Chief Chakalaka for her hand. As she caught the glowing eyes of Chia Ha, she immediately knew that she would not submit to the wedlock with this eagle-eyed suitor. After Chia Ha left, Chakalaka informed Talladega that he was the favored chief and that she would probably soon follow him to his providence. Talladega slept none that night, and soon after dawn she was out awaiting the song of her new young lover, Kusa. It was indeed a sad morning they spent together. Kusa possessed no property. He was simply a warrior. And he was overcome with the helplessness and the pathos of their situation that he plunged into the woodland, where he wandered up and down the banks of his favorite stream for days and days. His thoughts were only of Princess Talladega. He could see her reflection in the still waters, hear her voice in the rapids, and to this day, the streams that bear her name still echo the voice and reflect the beauty of Talladega. So after Kusa was wandering for days, he decided that he would stand for it no longer. And he went to speak with Chief Chakalaka, the father of Princess Talladega. Kusa found him alone, and he immediately stated his business. He told him that he was a man who had no property, yet he was young and taller and swifter and stronger than any of the other warriors in the province. Aside from this, he knew where valuable minerals were stored in lands unpossessed. And he would direct Chakalaka, Chief Chakalaka, to them, whereby the latter could enrich himself more plentifully than any chief in the land. In fact, he pleaded so appealingly and painted a picture so enticing that Chief Chakalaka listened, and he grew very interested in this plan of the warrior Kusa. If you can bring me some samples of these valuable ores and assure me of the possibility of ownership, said Chief Chakalaka, I will consider your proposition more fully. There was never a happier being since the world began than the warrior Kusa at this hopeful remark. Turning, he found that someone else had joined them. And from the scowl of his face, he discerned that this person, erstwhile acceptor suitor, who had overheard the latter part of Chakalaka's remark. That was Chief Chia Ha. Chia Ha turned without a word. An idea was brewing in his mind. He fastened to put it into action. He had brought with him 2 young warriors whom he immediately dispatched. One was famous as a medicine man in the tribe, and the other was to follow Kusa secretly. The medicine man had discovered an herb that would put the strongest of men immediately to sleep, and he could not be aroused until the antidote was administered. That antidote being known to none but the medicine man himself. Along about nightfall, the young warrior who followed Kusa returned with the information that he had pitched camp at the west end of the valley. When Chia Ha and his medicine man arrived, they found Kusa peacefully sleeping. His arms were folded over his breast and his face turned to the heavens. The medicine man stealthily creeped into the camp in the sleeping Kusa and quickly administered his drug. When he assured Chia Ha that the drug was taken and this desired effect was administered, Chief Chia Ha cruelly turned on the medicine man and killed the medicine man on the spot. I guess there were no witnesses. In the meantime, Chakalaka became disgusted at the delay of the warrior Kusa about his plan, and he went ahead and ordered the wedding preparations of Princess Talladega and the old chief Chia Ha. Talladega had discovered her sleeping lover and made many secret visits to him whenever chance permitted. She became so depressed and unhappy as the wedding day approached that Chief Chia Ha, decided that it would be wise to tell Princess Talladega that the warrior Kusa would never awaken. Talladega said nothing. She only sat motionless and gazed into space as the wedding approached. When the wedding day arrived, no bride was to be found. The woodland was searched, the hills and the valleys scanned, but no bride would be found. In the midst of the turmoil, an Indian young lad burst into the group with the dramatic news that Princess Talladega had been discovered, lying dead at the breast of her sleeping lover, warrior Kusa. Now, although the drug was so powerful to keep Kusa always sleeping, it also carried the power to make him grow. While lying there sleeping, he has grown through the centuries until the mighty figure has become a great giant, now forming a mountain many miles long where it can be seen from the roadsides. I assume that's Highway or Interstate 20. Mother Nature has lovingly covered him, Kusa, with earth to protect him from the cold. She has planted trees and shrubs to shield him from the hot summer sun, and she has scattered flowers here and there. And each year birds flock to the sleeping giant to herald the coming of spring. And there he lies, still dreaming of his beloved Talladega, the bride of the mountain. So that's the story. Yeah, cool story. I guess it's folklore. I don't guess it's true. We don't know. But anyway, we're at Talladega National Forest, probably in the foothills. And as we were passing over some of the mountains today, I guess we could look back and see those. So thank you guys for watching another episode of As the Crow Flies Hiking. I appreciate you tagging along and following the story. I'll see you next time on As the Crow Flies Hiking.